Alexander Armstrong's Big Ask. Why are we here? What is happening? Who are you? So many questions. And indeed, that is in fact what tonight is all about. I'd like my guests to come up with questions so clever and so fiendish that only they will know the answers. And if they do, they will earn my applause and nothing else. Yes, this is the show where the question is king. Did you know that the collective noun for ducks is a paddling if they're in water, a flight if they're in the air, and a starter if they're in a pancake? Please let me introduce my favourite funny people to play this game this evening. They are Robert Webb, Andrew Maxwell and Jimmy Carr. Welcome, all of you, welcome. I've summoned you here this evening to bask in your general knowledge. I'm going to be challenging you to come up with questions so difficult that only you know the answer. Andrew, you have solid experience on quiz shows, don't you? You're no stranger to facts.
I'm not scared of facts.
No.
Facts are the building blocks of the House of Truth.
Wow. If you've ever performed stand-up in the UK, the chances are you've done a gig with Andrew Maxwell and had to drive with him for any length of time. These are font of just useless information.
I know a lot of stuff, my friend.
None of it any use to man nor beast.
Are you competitive?
Well, I am now. Now that Carr's thrown down that pussy gauntlet.
Pussy gauntlet?
Yes.
Oh, my God, I'm scared of that. Whatever it is.
Rob, you're a well-known clever clogs.
Am I?
Celebrity mastermind.
I'm not sure being on Celebrity Mastermind shows that you're clever.
You nearly won.
I came third out of 4.
What was your specialist subject?
My specialist subject was the fiction of Ian McEwan.
The fiction of Ian McEwan? You're
Yes.
a fool. You should have gone for David Mitchell.
My specialised subject should have been me.
David Mitchell could do it with his special subject, David Mitchell, because it's a different David Mitchell. Or
Exactly. He knows all about the novelist David Mitchell because he's got a contract out on his life.
You know, my problem? My problem is my competition for my name is Jamaica. Because if you say my name in a Jamaican accent, it sounds like Jamaica. Jamaica sounds like... So, I'm up against a nation, and they've got a tourist board and an Olympic team. I've got nothing. I've just got a panel show on Channel 4.
Offering up extra information tonight is a man with the world at his fingertips, as long as he can remember his password. It's my friend in the fact bunker, Mr. Dave Lamb.
Dave!
Hey!
Hello, Dave. Hello.
You well?
Yeah, I'm very well, yeah. Just wanted to ask you, can you lend me £200?
Thanks a lot, Dave. Now, on to round one, in which each of you must set a question on a category of my choosing. Now, I will be judging who wins this round, so I'm looking for exceptional questions. OK, now, Robert. Now, I happen to know that you are extremely aroused by the sight of a lady's ankles, so it will be no surprise to you that I've chosen for you the category of the Victorians. There we are.
Men as they should be.
WWE SmackDown, circa 1898. So, Robert, there we are, the Victorians. What's your question going to be?
In 1891, Queen Victoria won a prize in which competition?
In 1891, asks Robert, Queen Victoria won a prize in which competition? OK, well, write down your answers.
OK.
Victoria's husband, Prince Albert, was a progressive thinker who reformed education, modernised the monarchy, and was a guiding force behind the Great Exhibition. And still, most people just think, cock ring. Yes.
Sandra, Queen Victoria is on Facebook.
What?
I'm not joking. Seriously, Queen Victoria is on Facebook. Look, there we go. There's her Facebook page. 170 friends. That's pathetic. Status, says here, not amused. Hang on, she's posted that on the 14th of December 2010. I think this might be a fake, Xander. Yeah, not like.
OK, thanks, Dave. Robert, your question was, which prize did Queen Victoria win 1891? Jimmy, what have you put?
Well, I didn't know. I don't know what she's... It seems odd that the Queen would enter a competition unless it was like, you know, they gave her an honorary thing. I've gone for Chubby Chaser Woman of the Year. I'm not sure when the magazine was first published, but she was a big girl, but attractive. Presumably no one at any point in that... I mean, there was no equivalent of Gok Wan in her era to go. It's all about the confidence, love. Take that top off.
Peter, you got fabulous bangers. Let's see that.
She is proof, if proof were needed, though, Queen Victoria, that black is not a slimming colour, because she wore it for like 40 years, didn't she?
Yeah.
Which brings me to what my answer is.
Yes, Andrew.
Longest mourner. Oh. The minute her dear sweet Albert died, she wore black till the day she died, and she lived for ages.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she saw the cessation of violence in the Boer War. The lot.
This was in the days when old ladies didn't have bingo, so there was nothing really to keep them going.
True.
She was so sad she had to get off with Billy Connolly.
Billy Connolly playing somebody totally no like Billy Connolly. I first met her when I worked in the shipyard. Billy Connolly, stop talking about the shipyards! You've lived in Hollywood for 30 years. You've had foot massages longer than you worked in the shipyards.
Leave Billy Connolly alone. I won't have a word said. Andrew, you're like one of those guys that's had a stroke and woken up with a different voice.
Robert, what's the answer to your question?
The answer to my question is the competition that Queen Victoria won was Crufts.
Really?
What?
And that was, she won that in 1891. Now, who'd like to guess when the first Crufts was held?
I don't know this one.
1891?
It was 1891. Yeah.
She won the inaugural Crufts.
She won the first Crufts. Or rather, I mean, really, her dogs won.
What breed did she...
Pomeranian dogs.
Oh, a lovely breed.
Suddenly it's like having your auntie here. I can see the connection, though, with royalty and Crufts, because they're both about inbreeding.
Yes, exactly. Oh, what's this suddenly?
Suddenly, we've got royalists here.
Well, Robert, that was a fantastic question. Thank you very much, Robert. Round of applause. Splendid. Now, Jimmy, see, when I look at you, I think urban. I think urban sophisticate. I'm going to give you the Arctic. I'm going to take you out of your comfort zone.
The Arctic?
The Arctic, yeah. There we are, the Arctic.
That's not a flattering photo, is it?
That's actually a Labrador.
I think I could ask a question about the greatest living British man, I think.
The greatest living British man.
So Ranulph Fiennes.
OK.
Ranulph Fiennes went to the Arctic in 2000,
Yes.
exploring, as he does, because he's like a real-life James Bondy Superman type figure. OK, so he went there in 2000. He had an accident. I want to know what happened and how did he deal with it. It's more how did he deal with it, really.
So this is Sir Ranulph Twistleton Wickham Fiennes. Did he...
That just sounds so right with you saying it. It sounds like it might be Pim's a clock. Come on.
The question is, Jimmy has asked, in 2000, Sir Ranulph Fiennes suffered an injury on a trip to the North Pole. What was the injury and what did he do about it? Now, everybody has to write down their answer. I say everybody. You two.
Oh.
He's quite an amazing guy.
He is quite an amazing man.
He's extraordinary.
I think he's probably a bit mad, isn't he? Yes, the Arctic is the name for the massive ice cap at the northern tip of the Earth. Although if you are watching this on one of our repeats, it's the tiny lump of ice in the middle of the Great North Sea. Dave, yeah, there we go.
I have found the first people to reach the North Pole. There they are. Robert Peary's expedition of 1909.
So are you saying that they all arrived at the same time and a photographer was already there?
OK, thanks, Dave. Now, Jimmy, the question was, what injury did Sir Ranulph Fiennes sustain in the North Pole in 2000 and how did he treat it? Robert and Andrew. I'm going to come to you first, Robert.
I've put, was it... Oh, bollocks. I've put, was it a love-making accident with a penguin? And he dealt with it like a man. That's where the expression scot-free comes from, because it was Scott who first did that with
and the expression pick up a penguin.
True.
Andrew, what have you put?
Well, I think he... Look, it's very cold. He's lost an extremity. I think he lost a finger. He obviously wanted to keep his finger, have his own on at a later time, so that he stored his finger within.
God.
Whoa. Resourceful.
He'd be walking like a penguin for the rest of the trip. Wow, Jimmy.
Well, you're devilishly close. What happened was he was on the expedition and the thing that he had holding all of his stuff got stuck.
Right.
And he has to take off one of his gloves to get it free in the ice. And so one of his hands got terrible frostbite.
You shouldn't be there. You take a glove off, you get poorly. Don't go there.
Take your glove off, you get poorly. It was more than poorly. Basically, the tips of his fingers went black, and his thumb went black. So he got home, and he was going to go and have it operated on. They said it'd be £6,000 to get it done. So he went into the shed, and he got a saw, and he chopped the tips of his own fingers off. And he chopped it down to where it started to bleed. He thought, well, that's probably good. That bit's probably still working. And he just left it at that, in the shed. How nails hard is this guy?
Well, yeah, but nails hard, not so nails stupid. NHS!
A nut job.
The only thing that disappoints me slightly, and he's kind of a hero to me...
Was his piano playing?
It must have been terrible the first time he was in the car telling someone to fuck off. You can...
Well, on that note, I have to say, Jimmy, what a fantastic question. Thank you very much indeed. Amazing. Very good. Very good. Andrew, it's your turn to set a question. Now, I know there's a sportsman in you just waiting to get out. I've got to put that slightly better, possibly. But, you're a sporting man, aren't you, Andrew?
Oh, absolutely. I love the sporting life.
Well, fittingly enough, the category I have given you is the Olympics.
I hate the Olympics.
Hey, why are you talking? A lot of planning's gone into these Olympics. Obviously, most of it's been done by Al-Qaeda.
Not a fan.
Al-Qaeda or the Olympics?
I'm willing to go out there on a limb and say it. I'm against you, Al-Qaeda. You're not the brand of Islam that I signed up for.
And we're back in the room. I'm genuinely excited about the Olympics. I think it's going to be amazing. I'll answer any question on this. Come on.
What is your question on the Olympics, Andrew?
Well, we all know the famous sportsman, LaShawn Merritt. 400-metre sprinter,
Yeah.
yes.
LaShawn.
LaShawn
Yeah,
Merritt.
LaShawn. Or, as we would say in English, Sean.
400 metres champion. Got himself disqualified. Why? Drugs.
Oh, my God.
Yes. LaShawn Merritt, 400 metres champion, got himself banned for use of anabolic steroids. What was his excuse?
OK, what excuse did Olympic 400-metre runner LaShawn Merritt offer up when he was caught testing positive for anabolic steroids? Right, okay.
I shall also answer this.
OK, good. The 1900 Olympic Games in Paris, there were more people competing in them than there were in the audience, what's known in the business as Rick Astley syndrome. So, Andrew's question was, what excuse did Olympic 400-metre champion LaShawn Merritt use when he failed a drug test in 2010? Now, Robert and Jimmy, have you got your answers?
I have an answer, yes.
You have an answer, OK.
He said, Michael Jackson's doctor said it would be OK.
Jimmy.
Well, because he's a sprinter and because I didn't know the answer, I've gone for it's sort of like a joke, but a poorer version.
Oh.
Took it for a runny nose. It's the word runny doing a lot of work there.
Yeah?
I'm going to send that to the Christmas cracker people, and I think I've got a future.
You'll tell you. What is the answer, Andrew?
His excuse was that he had bought an over-the-counter willy-enhancing drug.
Over the counter? That sounds impressive. The genius of that answer is, did he get off because they just went, well, that no one would admit to that if it wasn't true?
Well, exactly.
So
you have to let him off for coming up with that.
It's like the dog ate my homework while I was having sex with it.
Well, Andrew, I have to thank you very, very much. An excellent question. Thank you so much. Very good. At the end of that round, I'm overwhelmed by the level of your collective learning. But for their mental gymnastics, I have decided to award the round, not mental gymnastics so much as a fantastic impression of Billy Connolly. It goes to Andrew Maxwell. Yeah. Well, this show, like one of Wayne Rooney's jigsaws, is in two pieces, so we will see you in a couple of minutes for part two. Let's move on to round two, which we call questions we would like to ask famous celebrities and public figures. I've got some pictures of some of my favourite celebrities, people of whom I have nothing but the utmost respect, and I would like my guests to shout out the questions they would most like to ask them. For example, here is a picture of Keith Richards, and my question to him would be, is it true that you once accidentally ate a brownie with no hash in it? So, obviously, the winner of this round will be the person who comes up with the most searching questions. So let us start with... What is the question you've most wanted to ask? Stargazing pin-up, Professor Brian Cox.
I would ask Brian, is this a fair summary of your show? Right, so imagine if the universe was the size of a pea, but the biggest pea you can imagine. And it's not just the story of a pea, it's the story of us. Because you can't talk about physics on television anymore without making it about humans and our story.
So why is he always on a mountain? Why?
Because that's where science lives. People make a big fuss about, oh, he's the pin-up of popular science. So you go, well, the competition is Stephen Hawking and Patrick Moore.
OK, next. Star-chomping Prime Minister Winston Churchill.
Do you know that there is no bowling ball on your fingers?
Winston, could you point out to Nick Griffin that you can't be a fan of yours and a fan of Adolf Hitler at the same time?
I would ask him why my no-claims bonus has been reduced.
Next, Compass MP Goda, Jeremy Paxman.
And you know what? I like him.
I'll tell you what I'd ask him. I'd ask him why he's so rude to politicians. And then I would keep on asking that same question again and again and again and give him no opportunity to give an answer.
Shapely, near Royal, Pippa Middleton.
Oh, filthy Pippa. Who brings an arse to a wedding?
Oh, let's get that restraining order. She won Rear of the Year, so I would ask her, how do you enter it?
Well done, everybody, and for asking the best questions, I would have to say the winner of that round is Mr. Jimmy Carr. Splendid. Excellent. Very well done. Very well done. Yeah. It's time once again for me to ransack, in the nicest possible way, my personal collection of what I like to refer to as stuff, and to find an object for which I would like you all to think of a question. Tonight, I have been rummaging through my medical stuff, that little section of my curiosities, and I've come up with this. OK, there we are. Not sure what this person died of, although I imagine having his brain taken out and put in a jar probably didn't help. So this category, for this category, it's going to be the human body. I would like a question from all of you about the human body, and I will choose my favourite question.
Is it OK to cheat, because I've got a body right here?
OK. London taxi drivers, famous for knowing all the London streets by heart, have a larger than normal hippocampus. That's the part of the brain devoted to strident right-wing bigotry. So a question. I'm going to come to you first, Robert.
OK. What are Waterloo teeth?
What are Waterloo teeth?
Waterloo teeth.
OK, Andrew, what's your question going to be?
There's a man called Daniel Kish.
Yes.
He's blind, yet he can cycle at full pelt.
Oh.
OK.
How?
OK. Curious. Daniel Kish.
Daniel Kish. He can cycle at full pace, blind.
Wow.
How?
Jimmy.
What is angel lust?
Ooh. It's good. That is good. That's good. Angel lust. Daniel Kish. How? And Waterloo teeth. Blimey. OK, right. Which one pleases me the most? I think, Robert, I'm going to go... Maybe it's just because you came out first, but Waterloo teeth.
OK.
OK, everyone write down their answers, please. What are Waterloo teeth?
I've got some brain stuff for you, Zara.
Oh, yeah, good.
After Einstein died in 1955, the man who did the autopsy nicked his brain. It says here, he took it home, divided the brain into 240 sections, which he then kept in jars.
Yeah, that's an autopsy person for you, isn't it?
So you're saying that he took Einstein's brain and kept it in a jar? Because I think I might have the chief suspect here.
OK, Robert, I chose your question. What are Waterloo teeth?
OK, well,
Jimmy, what's your answer?
OK, I think I'm right in saying it's when ABBA smile.
Andrew, what have you got?
I think they're real false teeth plucked from the dead.
Oh.
I think that's what it is. I think back in the day, false teeth were often somebody else's previous tooth.
Wow.
And I reckon they had a lot of them off the battlefield of Waterloo, brought them back and stuck them into falsies.
Well, initially that sounds awful, but that is just an early form of organ donation, isn't it? You would have carried a card that went, in the event of me definitely dying, which I will, take these. It'd be terrible if you were trying to identify someone with their dental records.
I was just thinking that, yeah.
He's someone else, he's some French bloke.
I'd know those gums anywhere.
So, Robert, put us out of our misery.
Andrew
what's the
is
answer?
absolutely right. They are dentures made from the teeth of dead soldiers at the Battle of Waterloo.
That's amazing. That's amazing, Andrew. Spot on.
It was widespread,
Right.
but I think it was coined at the Battle of Waterloo because there were so many dead people.
Right, wow.
And you'd have these tooth hunters, and they would go to the battles and take the teeth out.
Couldn't they train birds of prey to go and do it for them?
Oh, what a lovely idea.
A lot less unseemly.
What a Hogwarts idea.
You could probably do the same now, just with the leftovers from the streets in Newcastle on a Sunday morning. That was an excellent question, Robert, but you didn't manage to outfox Andrew.
No.
Andrew, very well done. Dave, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, well, I've managed to dig out an image, a genuine image, the picture of the actual teeth. There they are.
Does Shane McGowan want those back?
All right, well, thanks very much for that, Dave. Out of interest, Jimmy, you asked what is angel lust.
I think Maxwell knows.
It's your last erection before you die. See, that's what it is.
Was Maxwell, was he right?
Absolutely right, yes. It often used to happen with when people were hung. So basically, it's angel lust is a stiff with a stiff.
OK, I thought it was a massive craze in the 70s. They were all doing angel lust. Andrew, Daniel Kish.
Daniel
Who is
Kish?
Daniel Kish?
He's a man that was born blind. He has no eyes. Well, actually, he was born blind, he had eyes, and then he had them removed because he had a rare eye cancer as a child. And yet,
Yes.
Daniel Kish can cycle. At full pelt. How?
I think I've seen a thing on this guy.
I think you have.
I think this guy's the... and there's a few blind people working with this technique now. It's echolocation. It's human beings...
Sonar.
Basically, yeah, using sonar to navigate. Yeah, they've got such sensitive ears, they could tell that there's an object there, and they're training themselves. There's one guy that's incredible at it. It might be this guy that can
Daniel Kish.
If you saw an obviously blind person riding along quite fast going... You'd get the fuck out of the way anyway.
Yeah. It's an astonishing thing to see, though.
That is, for which many, many, many thanks. Well, that's been a fabulous array of incredible and disturbing facts, but my winner of that round, no surprise, Andrew. Amazing. Amazing. Very good. Well, time now for our no-holds-barred final round, where you've still got time to impress me. I shall choose a category, and you have to race to think of a question, then there's a second race to answer it. OK, fingers on buzzers. First category. It is cartoons.
In which Disney cartoon is there a naked... famous Disney cartoon, is there a naked frame? Because obviously cartoons move at, whatever it is, 32 frames per second, or whatever it is, to make it look as if it's moving. And so the original people doing the drawings thought, well, this is just a bit of a laugh. I'll do one where you can see her twinkle cave.
Bambi.
It is not Bambi.
Is it Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs?
He's got it, that's it.
Really?
Is it Snow White?
Yeah, Snow White's got
No.
a... Yeah, there's a single frame in Snow White.
Snow White? Can't think why.
Can't think why. She's the fairest in the land. That could be it. Also, 7 little fellas living in her house. She's quite up for it.
OK, our next category is gods. Rob.
In what science fiction TV show is polytheism practiced? And in fact, monotheism mocked?
Is it the new Stargate?
No.
Is it Battlestar Galactica?
Yes!
Is it?
It's Battlestar Galactica.
Very well done, Andrew. Next category, insects. Yes, Andrew.
How come wasps do nothing good?
Oh, do you imagine if wasps made their version of honey?
They already do. It's called Marmite.
OK, next category, politics. Yes, Andrew.
The coalition. Why? Why? Why get get two people that don't like each other at all and force them into a bed together. Force them into each other.
Would you describe David Cameron as dishy? Oh, because I think he looks a bit like a dish.
OK, our next category. Coffee.
If you use a tea bag, yes, you can squeeze it again and make another cup of tea, if necessary. How come the same feat cannot be carried out with coffee beans?
That's just whimsy dressed up as a real question.
The answer is the actual hit of coffee is actually crystals on the outside, apparently.
Really?
Yeah. And once they get boiled or whatever, that's it.
That's
done.
it. One hit.
Then you've got just a bean, a worthless bean.
Next category. The orchestra. Andrew.
What is my favourite instrument in the orchestra? Yeah.
Is it the wand that he's holding?
I'm always amazed when I see a full orchestra how many people it takes to bore me.
No, I'll tell you the answer. The triangle.
What was the question?
I asked what's my favourite instrument in the orchestra.
Oh, right. Good. The triangle.
The triangle.
Very good.
I used to play the cymbals in a marching band.
No, did you?
Mm-hmm. Well, whereabouts are you from again?
I'm from Ireland.
In a marching band, you say?
In a marching band.
Just one particular time of year, was it?
Yeah.
What phone network were you with?
Rob, what about you? Do you have some sort of musical... You dabble, don't you?
In music?
Don't you in music?
No.
Really? Never?
I have an anti-talent for music. I can't play anything.
Have you ever tried?
The cymbals?
No! Fuck it, I've never tried. Maybe I'm incredibly good. Who was the conductor of the Amazing Animal Orchestra at the end of Bod?
Oh! God, I know this. He's a frog. A gusto frog.
Oh, nearly. Oh, it starts with an A. Oh.
Does it?
Yes.
Berto the frog.
Oh, Berto the frog.
Well done. That means that time is up. So good questions, good answers. But for their quick thinking, I am going to declare the winner of that round, Andrew. What about that? Well, it is the end of the show, and at this point I traditionally bestow upon every Big Ass champion a prestigious prize, something for them to savour in their dotage. And tonight it's going to be the North East Table Tennis League Under-13s Runners-Up Trophy. There it is.
That's literally it, is it?
Only two of us in the contest that year. Sadly, there can only be one winner, and tonight that person is... Andrew Maxwell! What about that? Come here. Thank you. Listen. Come on. There we are. Excellent. Very well done. Very well done. You take that.
At the end there, you look like you won a competition to be here.
In many ways, I have. Show business is a fickle mistress. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. And today, I feel like a winner.
You're doing
making a speech.
You're doing an acceptance speech. Why don't you just go and thank your agent?
Special thanks to my guests Jimmy Carr, Robert Webb and Andrew Maxwell, and to my friend Dave Lamb in the Fact Bunker. And I'll leave you with this. It was the Indian poet Rabindranath Tagore who once said, "Facts are many, but the truth is one." And the truth is, no one has ever heard of Indian poet Rabindranath Tagore. And that's all from us. Good night.
New Alexander Armstrong's Big Ask has Russell Kane, Andy Parsons and Steve Punt on the panel Monday night at 9. Tomorrow night at 10, new to Dave, it's Frank Skinner's Opinionated. Next, though, it's QI.